Now, a day after President Uhuru Kenyatta directed that foreigners involved in drug trafficking should be deported, experts are warning that an even bigger challenge awaits those tasked with the responsibility, that of accessible, affordable and efficient rehabilitation centers. The lack of such facilities has led to a vicious cycle for drug users who are unable to keep away from drugs. And Katusia reports on the war on drugs that will require more than just a directive to win.
These images have become synonymous with stories of drug addictions whenever they are told. At times we pass judgment on the drug users, but many have been enslaved in addiction whose cost of freeing themselves is beyond their reach. The fight against drug abuse cannot be fought by dealing with the traffickers only, but those addicted will need to undergo rehabilitation. When we arrive at Pwani Retreat, a drug and alcohol abuse rehabilitation center, clients are going through their daily routine. Majority are here to recover from their drug abuse habits. But what exactly do they go through to ensure an efficient process?
But here in the retreat, what we do is we assess the individual. We take the history as we normally do. And this is being done by both the nurses as well as the doctor. Then the doctor prescribes the medication. After he has prescribed the medication, the patient is seen on a day-to-day basis.
I take the patient through psychoeducation. Here I skill patients with various ways of life skills.
So we have to do a very, very rigid program of follow-up. And this patient is given maybe the first 2 weeks or the first 1 week, and then later on he's given the first month.
This is just a brief outline of what a drug or alcohol addict goes through to recover. But unfortunately, the cost of rehabilitation is so high that many cannot afford to pay for it. For instance, here at Pwani Retreat, one will have to part with 10,000 shillings per day.
Unfortunately, you know, when a patient comes here, they have to pay because this is how we sustain ourselves.
But how many can afford this? Unfortunately, majority of rehabilitation centers supported by the government have closed down due to lack of support from the government, while human resource is limited, with regions like the Coast region, which is notorious for drug abuse, having only one government psychiatrist. And so even as the government intensifies the war on drug trafficking, it must be remembered that more needs to be done regarding rehabilitation. Katusia, KTN.